pronouncing this right. It's a Black Performance Art Showcase, and is it called the Nazis Theater?
Yes.
What's going on there?
So at 6:30, the doors are going to open at 6 p.m. You're going to actually experience an electrifying showcase of performances. They're going to be featuring talented Black artists from diverse backgrounds that do include dance, music, spoken word, and more. And the event is truly
Good morning, friends. Welcome to Go Long, the show that focuses on local sports and faith. Includes thought-provoking, faith-based interviews with area coaches, players, and sports figures, unashamed Bible discussion, and the one and the only. It's back. The popular and entertaining WOYK Scoreboard Show. I'm Wayne McCullough. With me is Becky B.
Good morning.
Good morning, Becky B. Hey, thanks for being with us, friends, because we've got a dandy. With us will be Tim Law, the director of Tennis for Kids, a wonderful program that kicks off this week, runs June 13th through July 13th. Free tennis classes at 21 locations in York and Adams County. You know, Tennis for Kids was honored with awards from the United States Tennis Association and the National Junior Tennis League. Looking forward to talking with Tim Law, their director, learning about their mission and things that are going on. I'm telling you, it's a wonderful program. Well done, Tim Law. We look forward to chatting with you. Also with us is Susquehannock's long-distance standout, senior Matt O'Brien. O'Brien winning the District 3 championship in the 3,200 meters with a sub-9-minute time. And you know what? In the PIAA championship run, he ran an 8-minute 55.76 3,200. This kid can flat out run, and he's a wonderful young man. Becky B, he does other stuff as well.
Oh my goodness, he's the Renaissance man. He sings, he plays, he does about everything.
Absolutely. Hey, as Paul addressed believers in Rome and explained his mission in the book of Romans, for I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. That is our mission on Go Long. As we celebrate the accomplishments of our local athletes, coaches, and sports figures, we do so in an unashamed, faith-based way. Go Long, a show that connects us as a community of believers. My friends, throughout the show, please text your prayer requests to 717-350-8591. You can even text those prayer requests throughout the week. Again, 717-350-8591. And our community of prayer warriors will pray for you or your friends or your loved ones. So again, please text your prayer request to 717-350-8591. You know, it's red hot downtown Ollie Brown. This is the Grand Salami of faith-based sports radio shows, brought to you by Sports Radio WOYK 98.9 FM, 1350 on your AM dial, First in York and First in Sports, and our friends Kelsey Jean and Kylie Jane at Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars and cents. You asked for it, you wanted it, and you're going to get it. This is the WOYK Scoreboard. In the Go Long Baseball Game of the Week, the Snacktown Boys, the Hanover Nighthawks, picked up their first state playoff baseball win ever as they munched on the Mifflinburg Vikings by a score of 6-2 on Monday in Bloomsburg.
On the hill with the bill for the Snacktown Boys was Justice Feeser. Feeser hurled a complete game, allowing just one pair of runs, both in the first stanza of play.
Still for Hanover, Chase Roberts with a ribby in the third, Tyler Hansford with a ribby in the fifth, Daniel Corbin with a go-ahead ribby in the sixth, and then in the seventh, Caden Jones ripped a bases-jacked signal to clear the bases for insurance run as Hanover wins 6-2 over Mifflinburg. Again, the first state playoff win ever.
And then on Thursday, the Snacktown Boys fell to District 3 champions Dallas. But congratulations to the Hanover Nighthawks for a great season. Mm-hmm. They were the District 3 4A silver medalists and their first PIAA state playoff win in school history. Well done.
Attaboy, Snacktown. Hey, Becky B, real quick. Snacktown, now, obviously, because of all the snack manufacturers in Hanover, name a couple of them.
Sure, Snyder's, Utz, yeah.
All right, and more. All righty. Hey, and what a week for the Central York boys volleyball team. They kicked it off with a 3-2 win over state powerhouse, 4-time defending state champions, the North Allegheny Tigers. Against the Tigers, Donovan Burris with 18 kills. Outside attacker Christian Bucks handed out 60 dimes. And Ryan Roberts with 29 digs.
And then, yesterday morning, the Central York Panthers got out their brooms and they swept District 12 champions LaSalle College Explorers in the state quarterfinals, dominating in straight sets, 25-17, 25-19, and 25-21.
Wow, you can just picture those brooms sweeping away. Senior Mason Boyer led with 9 kills. Now you can stick that one in a mason jar and put it under your front porch. Junior Christian Bucks with 8 kills, and an ace, Trevor Kettrick, booked 8 kills. Setter Lance Schaefer handed out 28 dimes, and libero Ryan Roberts put on his hard hat and shoveled to book 9 digs.
Up next for the Panthers will be District 7 Championship Shaler in the PIAA State Finals this Tuesday. And just in case you're looking ahead, with a win, the Panthers will play for all the marbles next Saturday at Penn State's Rec Hall.
Alrighty, hey, what a great season for Central York Panthers. Good luck as you move ahead in
Absolutely.
this state tournament. Indigo Long Boys Lacrosse Game of the Week. The boys from the Rock, Paper, Scissors, the Susquehannock Warriors, that is, played a little Rochambeau with the District 12 champion Lansdale Catholic to notch a PIAA quarterfinals win by a score of 16-4 Tuesday evening in the Rock.
Senior Doug Renicky netted 4 goals and handed out a pair of assists. Senior Ben Ostreich found the net 4 times, and Senior Dominic Eccles added 3 goals and an assist, and Senior Tristan Coleman booked 3 goals to lead the Warriors.
Oh, then yesterday afternoon, playing at Penn State's Pranzer Stadium, the Susquehannock Warriors ended their excellent season at the hands of defending state champions, the Mars Fighting Planets. I got a bone to pick about that. If you're Mars, how can you be the Fighting Planets? I can see the Fighting Planet, but can you be plural if you're Mars?
Well,
there's only one Mars, right?
There's only one Mars, but there are several planets.
All right, anyway.
How many planets are there now, Wayne?
I don't know.
Well, there used to be 9 when we were in school, but
right.
now Pluto's no longer a
I think
planet.
they put Pluto back in the mix now.
I don't think so.
All right, well, anyway, the Warriors lost to defending state champion, the Mars Fighting Planets. You know what? They lost by a score of 10-5. As Yogi Berra would say, it was deja vu all over again as Mars knocked out Susquehannock last year in the state quarterfinals as well. You know what? And since we mentioned Yogi, here are some of my favorite. I couldn't let that one go by.
You know, the weirder the better.
Some of my favorite Yogi quotes. Here's one of them. If you don't know where you're going, you might end up someplace else. That's happened to me every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another one. You have to give 100% in the first half of the game. If that isn't enough, in the second half, you have to give what is left. So, I'm not the greatest math wizard in the world, but I think if you already gave 100%, there might not be a whole lot left. I'm not sure. Anyway, here's another one. You better cut the pizza in 4 pieces because I'm not hungry enough to eat 6.
That makes sense, sure.
Yeah. Alrighty, one more. A nickel ain't worth a dime anymore. And then Yogi not only played, but he coached, and one time he told his players to pair up in 3s. So,
okay, well, I guess Yogi doesn't know what a pair is.
All right. Now here's my favorite little story, and so Yogi's getting an award in New York City, and the mayor's wife is presenting this award to Yogi, and it's back in the time when guys wore leisure suits. Can you picture the yellow leisure suit with the open collar and so forth? And it was a hot, steamy day in New York City, and the mayor's wife said to Yogi, "You look nice and cool today." And you know what Yogi said to the mayor's wife?
What did Yogi say to the mayor's wife?
"You don't look so hot either."
Jeez.
All right, Yogi Berra, that's enough. All right, Becky B, let's look at Susquehanna League.
In the Susquehanna League Men's Hardball Go Long Game of the Week, the East Prospect Pistons improved to 7 wins and 2 losses as they blanked Jacobus by a score of 1-0, as Dylan Stoops tossed a complete game no-hitter, Jim. Stoops whiffed 13 and issued only 1 free pass along the way. For the Pistons, Dan Wecker plated the winning run off as Devin Stricker reached base on an infield error for the walk-off W.
Alrighty, in the Central League Men's Baseball Go Long Game of the Week, the Jefferson Titans improved to 5-3 as they handed the Tool-Time Boys of Mechanicsburg their first loss of the season by a score of 3-2. For the Jefferson 9, Brevin Neviker ripped a pair of base knocks, including 2 ribbies, and Sam Crater booked 2 base hits and a ribby. Brian Bosom twirled a complete game, 1 run, 4-hitter for Jefferson while notching 7 Ks.
And here's an interesting
You know what?
stat.
This is interesting, guys. Just check this out.
Okay, on Thursday, the Central League and the Susquehannock League match up in 6 interleague games. I mention this because around these parts, there's always a very heated discussion about which league is better.
You know, and that goes way, way back.
Back.
It goes more than back. I'm talking, this is a 40-year or more kind of, rip-roaring, heated kind of talk about throughout this area. Well, this round, my friends, was won by the Central League, and they walked away with all 6 wins.
Woo, doggy.
Yeah, Jefferson over Helm 12-7. Andrew Kramer with a day at the plate going 3 for 3 and 2 dingers. Manchester blanked York Township 9-0 behind a 1-hitter by Cody the Keebler Elf Reeser. Keebler whipping 9. South Mountain smacked Jacobus 7-0 behind a 2-hitter by Ryan Kelly. Mechanicsburg over East Prospect 5-2. Teed Orts with a complete game gem. The Vikings by 1 over the Conrads 4-3 to pick up their first win of the season, and Pleasureville over Felton 8-0. 10 Marquard twirling 5 shutout innings for the W. Now, here's the thing here.
Yeah, what's the thing?
It's just one night out. It's one night out. It's not saying who's the better league. But there are a lot of blanks here. I mean, you're talking
That's
9-0, 7-0, 8-0, that kind of stuff. So anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
one
looking
hitters.
forward-
Just complete games.
yeah, there'll be an All-Star game later on, and then they'll play for the county championship later as well. So it'll be interesting but my guess is that 6-0 night, Central League over the Susquehanna League is just it's gonna raise the heat a little bit. I'm thinking, yeah, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I'm thinking it is.
Yep. There'll be some hot stove chatter about that.
I love it.
In the Go Long American Legion baseball game of the week, the Northeastern stormed past the Battlefield Boys as Northeastern wins over Gettysburg 4-3 in 8 innings. In the bottom of the 8th, Derek Gross ripped a base knock to plate Ethan Raybolt for the walk-off W. Raybolt booked 3 hits for his day at the plate, and Drew Barshinger tossed 7 shutout innings for the Northeasterners.
And in the end, Nelly grabbed him by the ear and dragged him up behind the woodshed. Game of the week, the York Revolution on Tuesday evening at Wellspan Park. They spanked the Staten Island Ferry Hawks 9-3 to improve their record to 22-13. Nelly Rodriguez, he had a grand salami in this game. So, hey, the York Revolution, they're playing pretty daggone good ball.
Yeah, check them out at Wellspan Stadium.
Check them out, or listen to the voice of the York Revolution, Daryl Henry. There's nobody better with the call than Daryl Henry. Okay, the York Revolution have a good season. Yep. Get out. You know, Becky B, we talk about baseball. We call it the Ottawa Titans game.
Friday evening
up in Ottawa, and not a lot of attendance. 897 people, I think, were in attendance in Ottawa, but it was a fun night out. Great baseball. And I promise you'll see the same if you go to York Revolution.
You know what? Not as fun as the Revolution, though.
Well, true. All right, I'm with you.
Our
you're right.
grandkids had a good time, but, the York Revolution not only plays good baseball, but they put on a show, too.
Well, they put on a show, and then they have, obviously, a kids-friendly park, with the merry-go-round and kids playing area in the outfield and so forth. I think you're right. There's no doubt about it. But anyway, good night. I don't know why I mentioned it, but we had a good night in Ottawa.
Yeah, we did.
All right,
we
Becky
did.
B. Let's now celebrate the accomplishments of our local athletes, and we have some dandies here.
Here we go. Dallastown's rising freshman Sophia Rodriguez set the under-14 world record last Friday in the 5,000 meters with a time of 16 minutes, 22.3 seconds. This world record was set at the John Hay Distance Festival in Westchester. Sophia now holds 2 under-14 world records. She also holds the 2-mile record, which was set at the Nike Indoor Nationals in March.
Alrighty, and keeping it in the family, Victoria Rodriguez ran an incredible 5-minute, 3-second, .44 mile in the Westchester on the same day. Victoria is a rising junior at Dallastown High School. We mentioned already Sophia, a rising freshman. Can you get your arms around what this Dallastown Wild Things cross-country team will be like this season with Sophia and Victoria leading the way? Yikes.
Yes.
Yikes.
Yep. They're streaks. Yes.
Talking world records, guys.
Yes.
Wow.
We've been following the Millersville University baseball team for weeks.
Yeah, we have.
The Millersville 9 now in the NCAA Division II championships. Just yesterday, getting knocked out by Cal State San Bernardino in the the NCAA Finals, losing in the bottom of the ninth
Wow,
by a
scored-
score of
yeah,
6-5.
scored 3
So
runs in the
close.
bottom of the ninth to lose that one, but what a season. And the York Adams League was well represented with 2 Golden Boys from Eastern York, Bren Taylor and Evan Rissell, and the Fawn Grove boy from Kennerdale, Garrett Lowe. Eastern's Bren Taylor, a senior outfielder. Check this out. Batting an impressive .420 for the season.
What a hot bat.
Wow. Taylor, a 2-time PSAC East Player of the Year. Let me tell you, when you hit over 400, this hasn't been named yet, you're a candidate for All-America. Eastern's Bren Taylor playing Division II in Millersville. Also, Eastern,
And taking your team to the NCAA Finals wouldn't
True,
hurt.
true. Eastern's Evan Rishel worked out of the pen for Millersville. Check this out. With a 0.97 ERA in 21 games and 37 innings coming out of the pen, Evan Rishel. What
Less than one.
All right,
That's amazing.
and Kennerdale's Garrett Lowe, also a senior, finished with 22 career at-bats. Lowe, by the way, the former York Adams home run leader. So, Becky B.
So congratulations to the Millersville Nine and York Adams, Bren Taylor, Evan Rishel, and Garrett Lowe for a tremendous season,
Was.
finishing with a 46-10 record, the second most wins in program history.
All right, now, how about Dallas Town's Nick Parker?
How about
Parker pitching for the University of Virginia in the College World Series. Parker, a redshirt senior, booked the win last weekend for Virginia. Parker picked up the wins in each of his last 5 starts, hurling an ERA of 2.54. Today, nationally televised, Nick Parker is the probable starter as Virginia, with a 49-13 record, takes on Duke with a 39-23 record, with the winner advancing to the College World Series Finals in Omaha, Nebraska. How about that, Nick Parker?
Awesome.
A wild
Awesome.
thing. Yeah. Alrighty, friends. Let's go long. I want to talk. I was thinking about teammates at first, and I was, and watching. I got to say, I'm an Orioles fan, and watching the Orioles throughout the season, they are great teammates, right?
Oh, they absolutely
I mean, they enjoy
are.
each other. I mean, guy hit
They
this-
have fun playing baseball. You look at them spitting out water for doubles and everything else.
Yeah. They got the sprinkler going when they hit a stand-up double, and the starting pitchers in the dugout. You're right, spitting up water, and the water fountain going up, and
Yep.
they're just having fun, and they're great teammates. And it made me think, well, what does the Bible say about friendship? What does the Bible say about teammates? Because I think the reality of it is very good teams have outstanding players, right?
Absolutely.
Great teams have good teammates,
And good chemistry, yeah.
good chemistry. That's exactly right.
And sometimes teams who have better chemistry, because they're working together and they're pulling together as a team, can, really wipe the slate on some of these people who have outstanding individual players but don't play as a team.
No, you're right. And I think we have seen that time and time again throughout sports. So the question is, then what does the Bible say about friendship? Because I think when you talk about teammates, I think friendship is very, very similar. What are some of the characteristics of a true friendship? And I think we all probably could just pause for a second and maybe close your eyes and think of a very good friend we have, a best friend we have, or other, good relationships, and probably even carry that on to a great teammate that we've had during our playing days. And so again, let's chat a little bit about that, because I don't think it happens by accident. And I think in this case, the Bible gives us plenty of guidance on this topic. So from the book, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11, friends encourage us to our highest good. So Becky B, what word jumps out at you there?
Encourage.
Encourage, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. So how do you as a teammate, how do you as a friend encourage? I used to tell our players, there's enough people in this world going to rip you down, right?
Absolutely.
There's people, in fact, I also believe that the more successful you are sometimes, the more people try to bring you down to their level. So how as a teammate, how as a friend can you be encouraging when other people around you are just trying to rip people down and bring them down to their level, right? From the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 13, friends forgive each other and help each other in difficulties. Okay, Becky B, so what jumps out at you there?
Forgive and help.
Yeah. So let's take it to our sports analogy. In sports, baseball, if you're a great hitter, you're 1 for 3, right? And you're going to leave men on base, you're going to leave men in scoring position, you're going to blow a
Strike
big
out,
play.
yeah.
In fact, we were talking about being Ottawa in the bottom of the ninth on Saturday night. The Ottawa second baseman threw a ball in the dirt. First baseman couldn't pull it out. Game goes extra innings, right? Now Ottawa won,
Absolutely.
but you're gonna and he made a couple great plays prior to that in the game. It doesn't matter how good you are, you're gonna mess this up sooner or later, right?
We're human.
You're gonna lose, right? So my friends, great teammates, great players, help each other up when things are difficult. It's not only when times are good, right? I recall a time in a district playoff game when our point guard, John Thalen, you remember John?
I remember John.
Great kid. Won the state championship in cross country.
Yeah, and also won 3,200 as well.
Yeah, great kid. But anyway, we're down to the final seconds of the game and we turn the ball over. And I remember Dave Greenplate, great teammate, right? Great
Absolutely.
teammate, great friend, comes over and timeout. He said, John, don't worry about it, man. We're going to win this game. So it's not only helping people out in good times, it's probably more importantly when they're having difficulties.
Right. When you make a mistake. And you're feeling bad about it already. You don't need somebody to rip you down. But it's somebody like the Dave Greenplate there who, lifts somebody up and says, hey, put it behind you. Got to focus on what's ahead.
We're reading from the Bible here about what friendship says, and we're taking maybe a leap to tie that into being a great teammate as well, because I think it's important. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 24, friends stick around even when things get difficult. They are reliable. All right, so what you talk about that, Becky B?
Well, your true friends are the ones that when you are down and out, they're the ones there picking you up and saying, hey, together we're going to get through this. You have fair day friends, I call them, that are friends when everything's going great, but your real friends are the ones that are there when things are not going as well.
Yeah, from the book of John, chapter 15, verses 12 through 13. Friends love each other the same way that Christ loves us. Now, that takes it to another level, right?
Unconditional.
Unconditional. I mean, just think a second how Christ loves us. It is unconditional. It's even though we are sinners, Christ always loves us, is always with us, always waiting to hear from us and support us, right? Proverbs chapter 22, verses 24. Friends are not bad-tempered. Friends never withhold kindness and mercy. From the book of Job, chapter 6, verse 14. From 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11. Therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing. And here's one I think is interesting. And this I might take a little bit of heat about, but I don't know. I'm an old fart, and I feel pretty important about this. Let me read it first, and then I'll tell you what I mean. From 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Now, I've often told, our ball players, you got to hang around people who are good people, right? And it's unfortunate, but sometimes bad character does bring down good people, right? Mm-hmm. When you're around them. And I know that's not popular probably to say. But I think, especially as a young person, it's important that you surround yourself with other good people, right? And that's part of our mission here, a community of believers, right? Is to provide that opportunity. 1 Peter. Tell me first of all what you think about that, Beck, because I know that may twinge some people a little bit.
Well, I don't like to give up on people.
No.
I think it's important to that in the Bible it says forgive them 70 times 7.
Yes.
Continue to forgive, whatever. But there's sometimes that people are influenced by the company you keep, and they develop. You develop a reputation sometimes too by the company that you keep. Now that does not mean that you can't be kind to everybody and that kind of thing, but that's why we have influencers on the internet and so forth. They influence what you do, and I think you want to be influenced by the best.
Absolutely. From the book of John, chapter 15, my command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. And I think this is not saying to give up your life for a friend. I think what it's saying is give all of your emotional support, all of your physical support, all of your love for your friends, especially when they're in need, as we talked about earlier. Becky B, sum it up: teammate, friendship. The Bible gives us good direction. Here's your opportunity to sum it up, Becky B.
Okay, we often hang around with people who are like us, and surrounding yourself with Christians, or surrounding yourself with people who have the same faith is always a good thing to do. Now, reaching out to those who don't share your faith is also a good thing to do, and bringing them into the fold too. So, Christ showed us how to love by loving us unconditionally.
Alrighty, well stated. Alrighty, friends, we're going to take a short break from our sponsors, Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars and cents. And right after that, we have Tim Law, the director of Tennis for Kids, a nationally acclaimed program here in York Adams counties.
Hey, WOIK listeners, Daryl Henry here with Kelsey McCullough, Kylie Taylor, the owners of Red Barn Home Decors. Kelsey, tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing.
So Kylie and I bring in our furniture and decor to either a vacant or occupied home, and we allow buyers to create emotional connections with the home by envisioning their family in that space. Doing that allows the buyer to get top dollar for their listing and also sell it in the fastest amount of time.
Kylie, tell us about the benefits of Red Barn in particular.
Home staging is very important in the selling process. It really makes sure that your home sells in the quickest amount of time and for the top dollar. Some of our statistics here are homes sell in an average of 4.5 days and for over 16,000 over asking.
Kelsey, how would folks get in touch with Red Barn?
Please feel free to check out our portfolio at www.redbarnhomedecors.com. You can also check out our social media pages at Red Barn Home Decors or give us a call at 717-818-1207.
When you have talent like this, you know we're gonna brag about it. From Colin Cowherd, Dan Patrick, Doug Gottlieb, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, Jonas Knox, Ben Maller, Rob Parker, Chris Broussard.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Jason Smith, RJ Bell, and Mike Carmen.
There's gonna be some saltiness about that.
This is more than a lineup. This is the lineup. They live right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is The Herd.
Attention listeners.
With Colin Cowherd.
Favre and Aaron Rodgers are not the same person, but they're becoming the same Green Bay quarterback. You've seen those commercials, those Progressive insurance commercials where, you start becoming your parents. They're actually very, very funny. Aaron's becoming Favre, whether he wants to be it or not. He's getting kind of rigid. He doesn't want to change certain things. Favre got very rigid. I don't want to learn a new offense. Aaron's like, I want Randall Cobb and my 70-year-old quarterback coach. They're becoming the same guy, and I've always called this the Green Bay Packer quarterback syndrome. In Green Bay, the quarterback runs the franchise. If Aaron keeps mentioning, I don't know if I'm going to play, the team that gets him doesn't have to give up many picks. Because Aaron's not going to go play for a crappy team. He'll just retire. Tennessee's the team I put out there.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Can't get enough of the birds? Sports Radio 98.9 and 1350 WOYK has you covered. Join us all season on Mondays at 6 for the Baltimore Baseball Show, hosted by award-winning Orioles and National Baseball writer Dan Connolly from The Athletic Baltimore. Exclusive in-depth interviews, plus the latest insight and analysis on the Orioles every week. Talking baseball and the birds every Monday at 6. The Baltimore Baseball Show on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Naya kicks the pitch. Swung on. Hit deep. Left center field. Has he done it again? Has he done it again? He did it! Rhys Hoskins with a two-run game-tying homer here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And it's 6-6.
You're on York's home for the Phillies. And now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
This is always tricky when you have to change your viewing patterns of finding something. But going to YouTube, NFL Sunday Ticket was launched in 1994, and it was on DirecTV. This was a godsend for DirecTV, and they've had it since DirecTV's inception. But the NFL and YouTube are now partners here. The traditional media is not going to play a role moving forward. We're seeing that. just different places with, a lot more money and needing that content there. Yes, Todd?
They do need to figure out a way, if there is technically, where you can flip from one channel to another without having to have 9 different remotes. And
yeah, you kind of can. If you have, depending on what type of streaming TV you have, you should hit one.
I don't think it's that easy.
It's kind of a pain.
Yes.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekdays 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
And welcome back to Go Long. With us is the director of Tennis for Kids, Tim Law. What a great program this is. From June 13th to July 13th, free classes for young people at 21 locations in New York and Adams County. Tennis for Kids honored with awards from the United States Tennis Association and the National Junior Tennis Leagues. Tim, thank you for all you do. Welcome to Go Long.
Well, and I appreciate it, you guys. Just one slight correction. We actually have 22 sites. We were down a little bit during COVID, but we're back to 22. So just wanted to put that out there.
Okay, I'm glad you did, Tim. Tim, this is a program that our children participated in, and now our grandchildren are participating in. And my younger grandson asks from August 1, when is Tennis for Kids starting? When is Tennis for Kids starting? Tell us about Tennis for Kids, how it got started, and what you do with it.
Sure. Well, it actually got started, a gentleman named Hank Murgis and John Davis back in 1990. So we're going to about the 33rd year or so. We missed the 1 year and, due to COVID and everything. But so it's in 22 different locations, 2 at Adams County and 20 here in York County.
Great. And tell us a little bit, Tim, about how the program runs.
Yeah, most of the sites run Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 9 to 11 a.m. There's no cost for it. It's a free program. And we encourage the parents, if they can line up a racket for their child, that would be great. If there's some kids that don't actually have a racket, we have a small number to actually, get out for loaners or whatever. But, it's going to run, again, from June 13th through July 13th, and 3 of our locations, Loganville's, Springfield Community Park, and Susquehannock High School, they will run Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
All right. Now, Tim, how about age? What are the age requirements or the age suggestions, I should say?
Sure. Generally, you're looking at 7 through 15 as far as the age is concerned. However, we have had younger kids come, which is fine, 5, 6 years old possibly. The only thing we ask is if you've got children that young, that the parent or guardian, please stay there, because 2 hours is a long time for children that age. Some kids handle it well. Some, might need a little more of a break with a parent there.
Tim, can you share with us the mission of Tennis for Kids? I know all great programs, and yours is great, have a mission behind it.
Yeah, our mission basically is it's a free program for kids of all backgrounds, ethnicities, various denominations, and it's open basically to kids, and they don't actually have to live in that particular. Let's say we're talking about the central location. Let's say in the kid who's actually closer possibly to Northeastern but lives in the central district. We have no problem with children going to different sites. We've even had kids come over from Lancaster and up near Edders and over toward up near Harrisburg to come down to the site, for example, at Northeastern, which is our northernmost location.
Tim, when we talk about tennis is a sport that is a lifelong sport. There's very few like that. Maybe golf, tennis, and bowling. Jogging, bowling. Right. Why? You probably had other things you could have done with your life other than run this program that's that takes up such a time, has become such a great program. What's the why behind it?
Well, the why is as a teacher and coach that has taught in 3 different states, kind of my life mission has been, to work with and help kids of a variety of ages. I've worked a lot with middle schoolers and high schoolers as far as coaching is concerned, but also really gotten into the younger kids who have a great enthusiasm for being active and getting involved. And I just love to see kids make progress. It helps them believe in themselves as far as going forward in their life and everything.
For our listeners, Tim, if somebody hasn't registered, would still like to register, is there still time? Tell us how to access registration from your website and how to get involved.
Sure. If they go to www.tennisforkidsyork.com, they can actually sign up there, and they can pick the location. And also, we have an FAQ, frequently asked questions on there that we've gotten over the years, and they can you get a lot of answers there. My number's also on there. I encourage people, whether they want to email me or call me, I'm certainly, open to that, and we try to answer a lot of questions. Our site directors are amazing, and we're really, really pleased with the team that we've put together.
We're talking with Tim Law, Director of Tennis for Kids, nationally acclaimed program. Well done. Tim, let's go long. Talk a little bit about your faith journey.
Well, basically, my faith journey. Certainly was born and raised Christian, and a strong believer in my faith in as far as Christianity is concerned. And the other good thing about again the Tennis for Kids program is that it's open to all faiths and ethnicities and everything. And I'm just a big believer in the 10 Commandments, the Golden Rule, karma, whatever you want to call it. You put a lot of good out there in the world. For the most part, a lot's going to come back in a positive way. And so the example we try to set for the children as well is, the other good thing about the program is they learn teamwork, they learn cooperation, they learn kindness toward each other, and that's kind of what we're what we're looking for with the program itself, is to practice those kinds of values.
Yes, Tim, I can't speak for every site, but, I can tell you what you have just said about the instructors and so forth, showing kindness and showing a just general enthusiasm for the game of tennis and just being such good examples of Christian love shows at the Tennis for Kids site. Everybody is included. Everybody has fun. These kids that can't even hit the ball over the net, are having great times, as well as the kids who are going to be starting their high school careers. And, just speaks volumes for the program.
Well, we certainly, again, it kind of comes from our site directors and our staff. We really, one of the key things with, we've had some instructors that really don't have that much experience as far as tennis is concerned. But my first question to them is, do you like children? If you like children, we'd like to have you around. And, it's amazing the number of people that we have that really are just incredible with, kids, really young kids too. They do a wonderful job.
Today's Bible lesson was on friendship, Coach, and from the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, verse 11, it says, "Friends encourage us to our highest good." Well, guess what, guys? Tim Law, Director of Tennis for Kids, he is leading young people to the highest good. Coach, I can't even begin to tell you how much we celebrate what you have done, what you have given to this area, what you have given to the young people, nationally recognized here in York and Adams County. Coach, one more time, for young people listening, for adults listening and like to get their children involved in this program, please tell us how.
Sure. If they go to the website, www.tennisforkidsyork.com, they can locate it there, and a lot of the questions are answered under the FAQ or frequently asked questions section. And, again, my contact information's on there if there's specific questions that may not be answered, and I'll do my best to, give them good information.
Alrighty, guys, we'll be right back with Susquehannock standout Matt O'Brien. This guy can flat out run, Becky B.
He sure can. Looking forward to it.
Alrighty. Tim, thank you for being with us. We appreciate it. We celebrate everything you do today.
Thank you, folks. I do appreciate you.
Alrighty, our message from Red Barn Home Decor is where home staging makes dollars and cents.
Hey, WOIK listeners, Daryl Henry here with Kelsey McCullough, Kylie Taylor, the owners of Red Barn Home Decors. Kelsey, tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing.
So Kylie and I bring in our furniture and decor to either a vacant or occupied home, and we allow buyers to create emotional connections with the home by envisioning their family in that space. Doing that allows the buyer to get top dollar for their listing and also sell it in the fastest amount of time.
Kylie, tell us about the benefits of Red Barn in particular.
Home staging is very important in the selling process. It really makes sure that your home sells in the quickest amount of time and for the top dollar. Some of our statistics here are home sell in an average of 4.5 days and for over 16,000 over asking.
Kelsey, how would folks get in touch with Red Barn?
Please feel free to check out our portfolio at www.redbarnhomedecors.com. You can also check out our social media pages at Red Barn Home Decors or give us a call at 717-818.
When you have talent like this, you know we're gonna brag about it. From Colin Cowherd, Dan Patrick, Doug Gottlieb, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, Jonas Knox, Ben Maller, Rob Parker, Chris Broussard.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Jason Smith, RJ Bell, and Mike Carmen.
There's gonna be some saltiness about that.
This is more than a lineup. This is the lineup. They live right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is The Herd. Attention listeners. With Colin Cowherd.
Favre and Aaron Rodgers are not the same person, but they're becoming the same Green Bay quarterback. You've seen those commercials, those Progressive insurance commercials where, you start becoming your parents. They're actually very, very funny. Aaron's becoming Favre, whether he wants to be it or not. He's getting kind of rigid. He doesn't want to change certain things. Favre got very rigid. I don't want to learn a new offense. Aaron's like, I want Randall Cobb and my 70-year-old quarterback coach. They're becoming the same guy. And I've always called this the Green Bay Packer quarterback syndrome. In Green Bay, the quarterback runs the franchise. If Aaron keeps mentioning, I don't know if I'm going to play, the team that gets him doesn't have to give up many picks. Because Aaron's not going to go play for a crappy team. He'll just retire. Tennessee's the team I put out there.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Can't get enough of the birds? Sports Radio 98.9 and 1350 WOYK has you covered. Join us all season on Mondays at 6 for the Baltimore Baseball Show, hosted by award-winning Orioles and National Baseball writer Dan Connolly from The Athletic Baltimore. Exclusive in-depth interviews, plus the latest insight and analysis on the Orioles every week. Talking baseball and the birds every Monday at 6. The Baltimore Baseball Show on Sports Radio 98.9 FM and 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Naya kicks the pitch. Swung on. Hit deep. Left center field. Has he done it again? Has he done it again? He did it! Rhys Hoskins with a two-run game-tying homer here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And it's 6-6.
You're on York's home for the Phillies.
And now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
This is always tricky when you have to change your viewing patterns of finding something. But going to YouTube, NFL Sunday Ticket was launched in 1994, and it was on DirecTV. This was a godsend for DirecTV, and they've had it since DirecTV's inception. But the NFL and YouTube are now partners here. The traditional media is not going to play a role moving forward. We're seeing that. Just different places with, a lot more money and needing that content there. Yes, Todd?
They do need to figure out a way, if there is technically, where you can flip from one channel to another without having to have 9 different remotes. And
Yeah, you kind of can. If you have, depending on what type of streaming TV you have, you should hit one
I don't think it's that easy.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain.
Yeah.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekdays 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
And with us now from Susquehannock High School, well, actually a graduate of Susquehannock High School, Matt O'Brien. Matt is the District 3A winner in the 3200, went on to states, ran a sub-9 minute 3200, and is actually heading on June 16th to the Nike Outdoor Nationals at the University of Oregon to run the 5K. And this is not going to be just one of those slow jog 5Ks. I am sure this is going to be a flash. Welcome to Go Long, Matt.
Thank you.
Now, Matt, you have had just a phenomenal senior year. Starting in the fall, let's go to the fall first. Tell us a little bit about your cross-country performance this fall.
So yeah, I did well through the invitationals, all of that. Won counties with, I think, a course record. Won districts, and it was the second fastest time ever run. I just barely held off a kid because I won it by 1 second. Then, I competed at states, and then in the Northeast regional, it's like 12 states in the Northeast. I was like 3 seconds from getting top 10 and making nationals. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Okay, now Matt, not only do you run cross country, but when you looked at track meets, you ran multiple events during the track season. Please tell us about the events that you participate in during the track season.
Yeah, so my main event is definitely 3,200, which is 2 miles for anyone that doesn't know. But because I'm a very long distance guy, but I'm also pretty good at the mile. Occasionally I run the 800, and then we have a 4x800 relay team.
Okay, now, when you say you run the mile, Matt, you really run it. When we're talking a sub-9-minute 3,200, you are moving, many people who run the 400 at the high school level, if they're running a 107 400, they're doing all right. You're running a 107 split for every lap, all 8 laps of the 3,200. How can you possibly keep up that pace?
It's just a ton of training, and so my high school coach, he stepped down after the cross country season, so I was without a coach actually training for Northeast Regional, but then after my break, I found one online, and so the past 6.5 months I've been working with him, and it's just a lot of really specific training, and it's gone way better than I ever imagined. So
Speak with Matt O'Brien from Susquehannock, standout runner. Matt, you talk about specific training. There obviously you have a wonderful natural skill, but give our listeners at home just an idea of what a daily training routine would be like for you.
Yeah, so in terms of what I do in a week, for the past 6.5 months, I've been running 50 miles almost every single week.
Wow.
Yeah, 50 or more. And then 2 days a week, I'll do a workout. And usually it's, a little bit slower than 5K or 5K pace, like aerobic, especially in the preseason, to just build that aerobic engine. And then when we get near the end of the season, those workouts will turn into track workouts. So this past week, I guess I don't really need to give a specific one unless you want.
Yeah. I'd like to hear about it. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So last week I had 2 workouts. One of them, I'll say the more impressive one, I guess. So I had 1.5 miles at 5K pace, which was 109s, and this was when the air quality was terrible, so I was wearing a mask during it.
Oh.
So it was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 9x200 to get the speed, and they were at like 28 to 29, and then the last 2 were 27s. So
wow.
Yeah.
Whoa. Alrighty. Now,
Yeah.
you don't get tired when you're running?
I mean, the thing is, for easy runs, like once you really train a lot and get fit, you get a lot less tired. But I mean, workouts are definitely tough. But, you know, once you get in better shape, like, yeah, you definitely get tired, and especially after races, that's, yeah, the point. You want to be tired, but
Absolutely. You give it all, right? Now, Matt, I jokingly call you the Renaissance man, but this is no joke. You have talents beyond running. Your musical talents have been heralded at Susquehannock. Tell us a little bit what you do musically.
So I play violin, but mainly I sing. That's my favorite. And yeah, I've been involved in district, regional, state, and all East, which is, you know, like 10, 12 states in the Northeast. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and Mr. Althouse has been great to help me get better. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and I'm gonna continue that at Cornell in what's called the chorale, hopefully.
Excellent.
Now, Matt, do you sing while you're running?
No.
I thought he might. You know what I mean?
Honestly, when I'm running by myself, like you know, non-workout days, I will usually listen to music with my phone. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay, and what's your favorite run-to song?
I don't think I have a favorite, but I'll listen to like a lot of like 2010s pop.
Okay, yeah. Something with a fast pace.
I gotta ask folks, how many people know a state quality, an all-state runner who's also an all-state singer? I can't imagine there's many of those.
Now wait, and we need to add something else.
All right.
Tell us academically, Matt, about how you've performed and what your future plans are academically.
Yeah, so I've gotten good grades. I most like math and physics, and I'm going to be going to Cornell in the fall to study, I believe, mechanical engineering.
Wow.
Alrighty, so, you know, he's not playing tiddlywinks during his classes either. He is, you know, definitely putting in the effort.
Yeah, no, I can spell math, but I can even spell physics. Well done, Matt.
Yes.
Matt, I had a wonderful opportunity to speak at your commencement ceremony and actually watch you get your diploma. You handle yourself in just a quality, dignified way. I know your peers look up to you. I know your faculty members just admire everything about you. Tell us a little bit about you personally. Let's go long and talk about your faith, your life, and how you handle yourself and why that's important to you.
Yeah, so I've been going to St. John Lutheran for my whole life. And I think that combined with my parents, you know, raising me up with good values, also scouting has taught me, you know, good values, good morals. And
oh, yeah, that's right, Matt. You're also an Eagle Scout. We forgot to even mention that, and that's a life highlight as well.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think, you know, church and scouting and my parents raising me up well has taught me really good values, good morals. And so, you know, I'm a pretty good person and try to be friendly, be kind, like all of these lessons that I've learned from scouting. So, yeah.
Matt, you know, you also, people describe you as a great teammate, a great person to be around. Today's lesson, we talked about friendship, and we kind of correlated that to being a great teammate. The book of 1 Thessalonians say, friends encourage us to the highest good. What does that mean to you in your life?
I mean, one of my favorite, like absolute favorite parts of running isn't even the running, it's just the people, because the people in cross country and track, like, I feel like so much more than any other sport, are so encouraging and so friendly and nice, partially because, they're all working super hard too, because it's a hard-working sport. But, we have pasta parties before every meet during cross country. And then, we get together in the winter, in the spring for track. I just had my grad party, and it was a bunch of the runners, and it was so much fun. So, as friends, we just work together, and we can help each other improve and work harder. And that's been my favorite part by far of running. Not even running.
Now, Matt, how do you develop as a runner? When did you realize, hey, running is something I'm going to be really good at? What age were you, and then how did you develop yourself as a runner from that?
So honestly, developing yourself as a runner is just, the more you run and, just keep improving the workouts that you're running. So in middle school, I was pretty good until 8th grade track. So I had runner's knee, and it just sort of hurt a little bit until 8th grade track when it finally went away. And I dropped my mile time in a year from 5:30 to 4:47. And 18 seconds of that was in one race. And then I sort of realized that I was going to be good. But yeah, that was a crazy race.
From the rock, paper, scissors. This guy's a flat-out runner. He's a great young man. What a wonderful Christian young man. Matt O'Brien, already committed to Cornell University for next year. He's going to sing, he's going to run, he's going to just put a little Rochambeau on all those folks in that Ivy League, I have imagined. Matt, thanks so much for all you do. We appreciate your wonderful leadership for your young people, the example you set for everyone here in our central Pennsylvania listening area. What a well done, young man, and we look forward to following you as you move on to Cornell.
Yeah, thanks so much for the interview.
Alrighty, Matt O'Brien, Becky B. What a great young man, right?
Absolutely, yes. You look at some young people and you think, they are just such a great role model for others. Yeah. And, that's what his teammates say about him and people at Susquehannock, that he's just a nice guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, Becky B, as every Sunday morning, my friends, go long at 9 a.m. Thank you for joining our community of believers. We close today's program in prayer. So Becky B, please lead us in prayer.
All right. Dear Lord, we just thank you for this time together, and we just thank you for the beautiful day you've given us here, Lord, and for the opportunity to spend time learning about you and worshiping you. We just praise you, Lord, for the friends in our lives. We just praise you for the love that they give us, the encouragement that they give us, for the way they pick us up when we're down, and for their constant love. We thank you for the Christian community that you have surrounded us with, and for the way that Christians in our lives pick us up and support us. And we just ask you, Lord, that we are those kind of people, that we be encouragers, and that we go out into the world and be positive with others, and show them support and show them the love that you have shown us. We ask you especially, Lord, to be with people who are struggling right now, people who have family members that have passed this week. We ask especially, Lord, that you uphold those families and you give them the peace that passes all understanding, that they know their family members are with you. We ask you also to be with Lisa and with Diane as they go through their treatments this week, and that you give them strength as they go through the treatments and restore them to good health, and that you continue to walk with them in this journey, Lord. We just thank you for people in our community who are doing things for young people, and we thank you for programs like Tennis for Kids. Lord, we just thank you that you give the instructors the patience and the skills as they work with young people to teach them not only tennis, but also to teach them life lessons as they're going through this program.
Dear Heavenly Father, as the book of Proverbs is your good word, tells us, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. That's us, the community leaders, my friends. You go out and have the opportunity to sharpen one another as a believer, as a follower of Christ. We thank you so much for sharing your time with us this morning, and we praise God for this opportunity. Amen. So, my friends, the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. Thank you to Kelsey Jean and Kylie Jane from Red Barn Home Decors, where home staging makes dollars and cents. For Sports Radio 98.9 FM, 1350 AM WOYK, First in York and First in Sports, this is Dr. Wayne McCullough and Becky B saying, go long.